Hey guys, this is what you've been waiting for. This is game 5 out of a best of 5 between Lutra and Crystal. It's Pokemon Perfect tour. I'm glad you're with me all the way through this. Lutra is here back to using his Do You Like Red Blue Yellow Eggs team, it seems like. Same Pokemon at least, and yeah, there's the Candy nickname on Starmie as well. Crystal, Executor lead. I'm not a fan of Executor leads, but they're a thing. I acknowledge that they exist. Blizzard, yeah, that's the obvious choice. Starmie, okay, back to Lapras. Blizzard again, back to Chansey. They really play. They're playing really fast, and wow, that's actually unlucky for Lutra. He gets the critical hit and the special effect, but it's not from Blizzard, it's from Thunderbolt. Wow, he really doesn't want to see that. His team has issues, I believe, with Chansey overall as it stands, and Paralyzed Chansey is even worse because he lacks a Snorlax. Golem is the best that you can muster with it, and in Golem comes Substitute Golem versus when you don't have the sleep. That's just a poor play in my opinion, since Executor is drawn in like fly either way. Sleep Powder misses twice though. That's very fortunate for Lutra, but he fails to capitalize and use Blizzard onto Executor and instead goes for Psychic, dealing minimal damage. Chansey Ice Beam, trying to predict the switch into something resisting Thunderbolt, but Lutra correctly predicts that the Ice Beam is coming once more and gets a Confusory off, making sure that Chansey is taking some. Well, it's not taking a lot of damage, but it doesn't move, and that's what matters. It means that Lutra can get in his cookie, his Golem, for free. Executor comes in again, and Lutra shows that at least he has learned not to use Substitute, but he has not learned to use either Rock Slide or Body Slam. Especially Rock Slide would have been helpful, since at that percentage Rock Slide plus Earthquake versus Chansey still KOs. But it gets a critical hit instead, which deals a relevant amount of damage. Sleep Powder connects with Executor with Starmie as it switches in, but he immediately wakes up. And Psychic connects with Starmie, doing very little damage. Blizzard connects with Chansey. Psychic gets a Specs drop. This Chansey has used Ice Beam a lot. I'm starting to believe that it doesn't carry Thunderbolt at all. Maybe it's a counter variant. And if it's counter, it's gonna be hard pressed to find an opportunity to use counter. That's basically only gonna be against Tauros, because there's no Snorlax, and that means that there's only one stab normal use. Pardon me. There's only one Pokemon on the side of Lutra's team that uses a stab normal move, and Lutra gets the proper prediction, I believe. But it was the best thing that he could have hoped for, I believe, by exploding onto the Chansey with Explosion. Starmie versus Lapras. Lapras is, now that Chansey is gone, Starmie has the opportunity to run somewhat freely. I believe that Lutra should try to get Lapras paralyzed here, and if he fails to do that, then okay. Then Thunderbolt is an acceptable alternative. Lapras misses a Sing. Sing, I think it's a good choice on Lapras. I like it. Crystal is one of the players these days that still use Sing Lapras. It used to be the standard, but that has now changed into a Confusory variant. But Sing misses, and the Starmie gets a high roll critical hit. That's gonna end up killing the Starmie. And we see a Snorlax versus Starmie matchup where Psychic is dealing 50% damage before it goes down. Snorlax is just outside Hyper Beam range, so there's nothing that can one-hit KO from here, but Executor gets a free switch in here. So Sleep Powder should be used here, I believe, even if it connects with a Snorlax that's only at 50%. It's still an opportunity. Um, Going by what has been used, I believe that Crystal is carrying Tauros and maybe a rock, but I don't think the. I'm not sure if Crystal is carrying, say, Golem at the end. Uh, on the other hand, I don't think that he's a fan of Zapdos. I know that he's not a fan of Gengar. It might be a Starmie, but what I'm trying to get at is that this might very well be the greatest moment that Executor has to come in for free and outspeed its opponent. It might very well be that Crystal is only carrying Pokemon outside of Snorlax that are faster than Executor. Executor, to be fair, is at full percent, but we don't know how that will change as it tries to come in. Maybe it soaks a critical hit body slam for Tauros or something. So I believe that this is the prime time for Executor to enter the fray. Lutra is not sure. He's thinking about it. I believe this to be fairly straightforward. Blizzard from Lapras does not KO, except with a critical hit. And he does not use Sing, so that's not going to be an option either. Confuse Ray is there, but the self-confusion damage is very low. And Crystal is just wanting to blow himself up at this point. So I think that since there's no one-hit KO option at this point in time, I believe that going to Executor and using Sleep Powder is absolutely the way to go. You can, if you're feeling like you're in a bad position, even though I disagree, go for a critical hit, preferably with Tauros, since he has the highest chance to get a critical hit and the most reliable damage. But like I said, I disagree. I believe that this is a prime opportunity to send in Executor, and we're just waiting. Maybe this is a PO replay bug. I must speed up. Yep, there it is. It was if you were to look at the timer, it was an immediate choice. But yeah, Executor comes in, uses Sleep Powder just as I wanted him to. That's very good of you, Lutra. Thank you for doing that. Let's see what happens from here. Okay, so Lutra comes in with good play. He comes in with his Lapras, anticipating the Executor from the opposing side. And Lapras has the opportunity to do some serious damage to what Crystal has on his side of the field, except potentially if he's carrying a Starmie. But I don't think that's what he has in his back pocket. I'm not sure what it is. It might be a Reflect Sam, and that's probably realistically his best bet at this point. But if it's a Golem, then he's in for a lot of trouble. If it's a Zapdos, same thing. Zapdos cannot switch in on a Blizzard, that gets 2-hit KO'd, and Lutra has no reason not to use Blizzard at this point in time. There's no Ice type remaining, I'm 100% sure, really. There's 2 normal types that aren't named Chansey. I'm just gonna assume that Tauros is remaining there. There's 1 grass type that's gonna die. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. I disagree. Sacrificing Snorlax like that, yeah. Well, it means that you get in Tauros for free, and you can hopefully 3-hit KO with Body Slam, Hyper Beam, but no, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. Executor can now re-sleep at some point in time. No, Crystal is really in the backseat here. He really needs, I would say that he needs a paralyzing, maybe even critical hit Body Slam here, and that Lutra does not get a successful attack off. And Lutra gets a successful attack off. It's a Body Slam, not a Blizzard, but it's still an attack. Tauros is now within range from Executor Psychic. It's not within range from Tauros Body Slam. and it's not within range from Chansey, but it doesn't matter. Tauros uses Body Slam, not Hyper Beam. Not that Hyper Beam would have killed unless it was a max roll. Executor can finish off, can and should finish off Lutra's Lapras here with a Psychic, but then we're okay. So Crystal might get a potential tie out of this, but it's all depending on what his last Pokemon is, and that's one thing that he has made a decent job of. He has kept his Pokemon secret. I think that it's quite important to not reveal to your opponent, especially in the cases like these, what you've got remaining. I think that it's a good idea to try to use the same Pokemon as much as possible if it's a safe option to do so. And that's specifically because we don't know what Crystal has remaining. If it's a Zapdos or if it's a Starmie, Lutra's sleeping choices would have been completely different. But now he doesn't know, and he decides that Chansey is the best thing that he has to take sleep. We'll see how this ends up. Lutra, okay, he gets lucky. Turn 2, wake up. Psychic gets a Specs Trap, that's neat. But Sleep Powder is still gonna be thrown once more, and it connects. Chansey does not immediately wake up. So, round 2 of Psychics. And there's the Executor switch. No Specs Drop. At some point in time, one of these Executors will most likely blow up. I think that was very premature. I think that Executor should just have gone for Psychic once more. I'm not sure why Lutra is switching back and forth like this. It's not aiding his cause. He has no reason to predict. Tauros is the one Pokemon in the game that has a favorable matchup against almost everything. The one thing that Tauros would lose to in this situation would be, I don't know, Starmie. Articuno, but that's not that's not remaining. Neither is Starmie, I believe. It might be though. Zapdos kind of a wash, but still in the advantage of Tauros. And oh yeah, there's the sleep, and that's a Golem. I somehow managed to completely forget that there was a moment for Lutra to use Sleep Powder. But yeah, it's a Golem remaining, and that's okay. There's some full paralysis hacks here. Doesn't matter at all. There's still an Executor out on the field that can come in once Tauros goes down. That's gonna clean up the game and yeah, that doesn't matter. Golem survives, who cares? It's still the same. Tauros dies, Executor comes in, and the game, as soon as he presses the attack button, the game is gonna be over. That's it. Psychic is thrown. Lutra wins this at 3-2. Very tight series. Thank you for watching. It has been a great set. I hope you enjoyed it. I did for sure. Stay tuned for more videos from me. You know how to contact me, hopefully. I'm available at RBY Red Blue Yellow 2K10 and PO, Smogon, Pokémon Perfect, etc. Just send me a private message, hit me up, send me a replays. Thank you. This is Isa, signing out.